Thank you. Good morning. I hope you all warmed up a little bit after yesterday evening. Thanks for the African user group for having me. Thanks for organizing this great event, and thanks for using that event to bring me back to this great country, to this great continent. When I was touching down yesterday in Johannesburg, I was remembering that it was really between 2015 and 17, so really some years back that I have been here. And I'm really seeing this is a very highly evolving country, and definitely next time I think I should not take so many years again to be back here. Most likely next year, next time I will take a little bit of a different timing where it's a little bit warmer than today. So talking about getting ready for the future, talking about transformation in the next 45 minutes, I would like to give you a little bit of a hint of how you can get that with the move to SAP S/4HANA. And of course, when I'm talking to customers about S/4HANA, and I'm doing that since we have launched it back in 2015, of course, the major question is always what is really different, what is really changing with S/4HANA, how does it really help me to help my business in a better way, right? And I'm always putting that into these 4 dimensions here, because we hopefully would all agree in this forum here, the ECC product that we brought out back in the 80s, it's a great product. You're all using it, you're using it to serve your business. But there are a few dimensions that are getting more important in today's world that you can only get with such a next generation ERP as it is S4 with the framing applications around it. The first thing on the upper left corner is agility. We are all living in a world today that is changing faster than ever, right? We are talking a lot about disruption. We are talking a lot about transformation. We have been all suffering from major disruptions like the pandemic, like also the supply chain difficulties that were coming out of that in the past years. So we need to have an ERP system that is able to react in a fast and agile way to these changes. And this is something, I mean, the many good things you can talk about the ECC and the architecture with the whole business suite that we have brought to you. There's one thing, one attribute you may not be able to give it, and this is agility. The ease of doing a transformation, the ease to adjust a business model to something modern that will serve your end customers better. This is definitely something that you need in today's world, and this is something that we brought natively into S4, and we will look into a few examples also during the course of this presentation. The second topic is efficiency, right? We would like to make business processes efficient, but we also would like to make them attractive for the end users, right? And this mixture of really bringing ERP processes to every device, making ERP processes automated and supported by AI, that was already mentioned at the beginning, by AI, by machine learning, by automation as much as possible. This is how we can drive efficiency, but this is something we can only get if, so to say, the connections for the AI and for the automation is naturally built into the application already. And this is why you also need a new platform for that one. Then the third topic is sustainability. Of course, we all live in a world where we know that we are overusing it already today substantially. So we all have to get to a new way how we are using, how we are leveraging resources. So sustainability is something that in our understanding as SAP, it is not enough to just put sustainability on top of the ERP processes and, so to say, report on it. We would like to make sustainability a natural element of the ERP. We would like to design processes so that by nature they are using resources in a more sustainable way. And this is what we have also brought into the S4 release, right? So you can now organize and plan your production not only according to financial and logistical KPIs as you have done it in the past with your classical ERP system, but you can also plan your production, for instance, according to sustainability KPIs. You will find the plant that is not only producing your end product at the lowest price, but also at the lowest carbon exposure. And this is getting more and more important, of course, in the future. And then last but not least, we also coming to the result that there's a new way, a better way to run an ERP, and this is coming out of the cloud, because the cloud is not only giving you a faster pace to innovation, and we were talking a lot about agility and new processes and transformation here, but the cloud also gives you something back. It gives you time back to do your transformation, and you don't have to care about all of the technical aspects of implementing the new solution. And this is why also the move to the cloud, getting ready to move to the cloud, this is of course something that you cannot get with a 25-year-old ECC system, no matter how good it is. And this is why that's really the fourth dimension that is really driving the change. Talking about driving the change, this is the product strategy, the latest picture of our product strategy. So this is what we think your architecture should look like to really become an agile, an intelligent, a sustainable enterprise. And I would like to double down just on two topics on this picture. One is there are two elements painted in blue. And this is not a design topic only. This is also something that is showing where SAP is focusing on. And the two topics that are painted in blue are the cloud ERP as the center of all of the processes, and then the business technology platform, of course, as a single unique platform underneath that is driving the technology, that is driving the integration, that is driving the master data management, the whole semantics of all of the applications above. These two elements are painted in blue and are building also the center of this graphic, because also in our product strategy moving forward, these two elements are building the center of our strategy. Because we are saying that yes, of course, the extensions into the LOBs like human capital management, spend management, and also customer experience management, these extensions are of course important, and this is also where a lot of differentiating processes are running on your side. But it's all, of course, coming back, flowing through the ERP. It all needs a common platform underneath, and this is why the cloud ERP and the BTP underneath are really building the center of our strategy. The second topic I would like to double down a little bit, because I know that Sven talked a lot about the industry aspect in the circle there. The second topic I shortly want to touch as well, because this is, I think, very important in the context of transformation. This is the outer space that you're seeing on the picture here, the end-to-end processes. Along with the launch of RISE 2.5 years ago, we also announced that we acquired a company called Signavio, right? And the important topic around that is that we said the whole management of business processes, we have to make a part of the SAP portfolio as well, right? So until then, we were relying on external tools to do that. But we said that if you're driving business transformation, then this is process transformation. So you have to make the process topic also part of the portfolio. And this is why this allows us now really to look at processes from an end-to-end picture, to look at processes not only from the application side, but also from the implementation side. We will look into that a little bit later as well in this morning, to really see how we have been able now with Signavio, with the cloud application lifecycle management, to really drive an end-to-end cycle across the transformation, across your transformation, starting with your business process, starting with your business challenge that you're having, but really then taking it down to the applications and how I'm running and integrating these applications and how I'm testing the processes later on in my environment. So this is also an important new direction SAP is taking now. So doubling down now a little bit on the cloud ERP, I decided to use this a little bit busy picture for a keynote out of a few reasons. I mean, first of all, it should show where we are today with our S/4HANA solution as the next generation ERP. And I'm taking this picture because it should demonstrate one thing. This solution is definitely ready. It is definitely ready to replace any ECC system that we have been, that our customers have been implementing over the past years. Because we are definitely covering all of the processes, all of the elements an ERP system is covering. The second topic that you're also seeing on this picture is, and this is why I'm also talking in the headline about the modular application portfolio, that one thing changed with S4 compared to the ECC world, right? We have been organizing the software in a lot more modular way. And we did it because we would like to allow our customers to really adopt the solution in a lot more step-by-step approach, to make it easier to really get the benefit from all of the elements of the applications. Why it is so important to really start with this move now? We all know ECC also has its end dates, right? We announced 2 years back, 2027 is the end of mainstream maintenance of ECC, 2030 with extended maintenance. But we also announced that this is for the latest 3 enhancement packages of ECC. And if you're on an ECC with enhanced package 5 and 0, this still ends 2025. And I just looked into some numbers prior to coming down to Africa here. In Africa, roughly, we have a little bit more than 700 ECC systems, productive ECC systems running today. Half of these systems have an end of mainstream maintenance date already in 2025 because they are on enhanced package 5 and lower. And this is why it is so important to really think about this transformation now. And this is why I also wanted to show this picture to really ensure you can really start it. So the solution is there, so to say, you just have to jump onto it. And the solution, of course, comes with benefits, right? And also here, a lot of things on the slide where we could spend the rest of the morning to talk about. So, of course, S4HANA, next to the big 4 dimensions that I talked about at the beginning, comes with so many new capabilities that you in your business, for your business, with your business, can directly use to make things differently. And also just to pick out a few things, right? We were talking also in the introduction about artificial intelligence. Let's make this also a little bit concrete, how we are using intelligence in our system. And as I'm coming a little bit from a finance background, predictive accounting, right? So when we built S4, I said we need to change the way how we do accounting in the system. We need to enable the customers with a real-time balance sheet that we are getting out of the solution. That was the first thing we achieved with S4. You can take a balance sheet on a button click, and you don't need a long closing process to get to it finally. But now with AI, with predictive capabilities, we took it to another step. So S4HANA comes with a predictive financial close. So even for financial postings that are not yet there, it will simulate results out of precursor documents, and it will give you a projection of your financial close in a month from now and 3 months from now at the end of the year. And this, of course, offers you a completely different way to steer your business. And then just looking into the numbers only, always after the fact. So great example how we are really bringing something completely new into the ERP environment. Another example, demand-driven MRP. That's also a good example how intelligence is built into such a central process of an ERP system, right? Material requirement planning, one of the most important process for all manufacturing industries. With our demand-driven MRP, we are really making it a proactive process. So we are not solving the problem once it is there. We are avoiding that the problem appears. This is the way how the ERP system of the future with S4HANA is working. And we are also making sure that the system is easier to use, right? So, of course, we all are used to the SAP GUI. I also started with the SAP GUI when I started at SAP. But of course, especially the younger people in the room, the younger people in your companies that would like to work with an ERP system, they don't want to go into a transaction. They don't want to learn transaction codes, and they don't want to have complicated screens to really go into an ERP transaction. They would like to work with an ERP like they're working in their private life with a smart device. And this is, of course, what you can get with S/4HANA, with Fiori, with our Launchpad technology, with integrating now SAP capabilities into the start menu of the iOS devices. So this is how the usage of the ERP technology is also really getting into everybody's mind and getting really into the day-to-day activity of the people. And this is, of course, improving the productivity, right? So this is how you're making sure not only that the people are using ERP, but this is also how you're making sure that the people are using ERP productively and effectively for your company, and also coming up with new ideas how you can use it even in a better way. When you're talking about an ERP, then of course the ERP is typically always the starting point, right? You all would like to use this solution not only to run your core processes in a lot more structured and optimized way, but you also would like to use that solution to differentiate yourself and to really differentiate from your competition. In the classical ERP world, ECC world, we have been doing it by coding into ABAP and modifying the solution and bringing us into the non-agility that is exactly the opposite of what I've been talking about at the beginning. In S/4HANA, we are extending the solution in a release-compliant way, keeping the core clean, and this is what we are doing using the business technology platform and also things, of course, like embedded cloud ABAP or sometimes also called Steampunk. So we have the possibility to easily extend all of the capabilities S/4HANA is coming with in a first row with some new artificial intelligence, with some new key user extensibility use cases where you're just creating new ways how to enter data, how to change the data. But you can also, of course, continue to build quite extensive enhancements to the solution. But you're doing it on the business technology platform in a side-by-side way so that the core, or your S/4HANA solution as such, can be kept clean, and you can easily also then always upgrade to the latest release. Because this is what we expect from every customer, even if they are still running in an on-premise way, that once you are on S4, you're not staying on the release for the next 5-7 years again, but you're upgrading this release to always consume the latest innovation. In the cloud, of course, we are actively helping you with it. In the public cloud, you're getting it automatically. In the private cloud, you're getting it on request, but we are helping you to get ready for it. But also in the on-premise world, we would like to bring you into a perspective where you can do an upgrade as many times as possible. And this is why it is important to really extend the solution in such a compliant way with new capability, with your differentiating elements. Talking about extending the solution and talking about AI, I also would like to double down on this a little bit in the ERP context. So first of all, using AI in our S/4HANA solution is definitely not something we just started this year with everybody talking about ChatGPT and generative AI. So AI is in everybody's mouth. I remember the SAPHILA 6 years ago, where we introduced already an ERP you can talk to, right? We were using our own language recognition technology at that point in time, so it was not as perfect as generative AI is today. This shows the speed of the innovation in that area. But we have been showing already at that point in time that asking the S/4HANA system for give me the latest revenue figures from North America is something you can do with even with the technology 5 years back. So it is not something that is new, and this is why on this slide here you are seeing already some realized use cases and some benefits of companies using AI, using automation already to fundamentally improve the way how they are leveraging the S/4HANA capabilities. Be it, for instance, to really do cash management in a highly automated way for millions of items, or really getting information about, for instance, the travel behavior of customers. But of course, now with the new technology, we can drive it really to another level, right? Because the new AI technology is giving us a lot more capabilities that we can really bring into an S/4HANA, into an ERP context. And here again, the important thing is the blue highlighted element in the middle, right? Because what we are doing as SAP is we are framing all of these AI capabilities. So be it ChatGPT, be it Aleph Alpha, be it also AI capabilities from Google or any other vendor. We are framing these elements into something we are calling a business AI. Because I think everybody of you would like to train AI with your data. But nobody of you, I think, would like to send your data unfiltered into the AI, so that your competitor can just ask ChatGPT next time, what is the revenue of your company, and then ChatGPT will of course answer it because it has been trained with that data. So it's very obvious, of course, that using AI in the context of sensitive also data that we are having in the ERP system needs another way to use this data. It also opens, on the other hand, a lot of possibilities, because other than data, typically AI is being trained with unstructured data that is flying around in the internet. In your ERP system, you are having structured data. That's on the one hand side a big advantage. On the other hand, of course, something that needs you to optimize the training of the AI to work with structured data. So this is why it is so important that this bubble in the middle that we have been built, that is called Business AI, this is our framework that is supporting you in really bringing AI into a business context. Because this is how you will, at the end, then really gain the value out of using all of these AI capabilities. And what you're seeing around here then is a few new capabilities that we have launched since the beginning of this year using AI and also generative AI capabilities. And you're seeing it is really going, obviously, of course, across the whole portfolio. So we have brought into every line of business now new capabilities into the S/4HANA context that is using AI. And that is, of course, showing then how the S/4HANA system can really do things in a completely new way, right? And I was talking about 5 years back when we were showing how to talk to an ERP system. Of course, also this you're seeing here with our analytics cloud capabilities, where we are using natural language queries. So instead of remembering a report to call and to get some data, you're just asking the system for the data and it will respond. The advantage where we are today is that, of course, the increased intelligence that is coming from the AI processes is leading to the fact that today the AI is not only answering your question. Today the AI is giving you additional context. So when I'm now asking the SAP S/4HANA cloud system, give me my latest revenue figures for product group A in North America. Yeah, it will give you the revenue figures of product group A in North America. But it will give you, on top of that, context figures. It will, by themselves, compare this product group A, for instance, with other product groups that you're having in North America. It will, by themselves, benchmark North America against other comparable markets in your business and give you some data. It will include also external benchmarks and competitor data into that picture. So the simple question, give me the revenue for North America, will be answered in a concise way and in a comprehensive way that allows you to even then take better business decisions out of these answers. And this is a fundamental difference that we will see with more and more such AI processes coming into the ERP systems, right? It is not only that it is simply helping you with one process. It will really help you and support you to take better decisions and to take more educated decisions in your business, leveraging the AI capabilities. And that's, I think, one of the fundamental changes that we will see that AI will drive to software solutions over the next years. And then last but not least, also I talked about the end-to-end processes, so the whole Signavio suite, and in the detailed sessions yesterday and also today, you will learn a lot more about that. So we are really bringing end-to-end process management into our solution as well, from the analysis of the processes to the implementation of the processes, leveraging our best practices, and then of course also to continuous process optimization and process monitoring to really also benchmark and measure the results, right? Because when I was talking about S/4HANA helping you to run your system better and also to support your business in a better way, then of course you also have to prove it. You have to show your business that things have been really getting better with S/4HANA, that important business KPIs, days sales outstanding, or something like this have really improved, and that processes have really become faster than they have been before. And these are all the elements, the Signavio suite connected to S/4HANA and to the whole portfolio of our intelligent enterprise solutions is helping you with. Let me come to a few customer examples, and I've just picked out a few customers here that went through the ECC to S/4HANA transformation over the past 2 years now for all of these examples. By accident, I have just chosen examples where the customers are moving to RISE, but so that's maybe by accident or maybe by purpose. I leave it up to you to decide. And so we have great examples here for different approaches, and I will just pick out of every slide one, but if you're later on getting the slides, you can also, of course, read all the details for all customers behind it. I would like to talk a little bit about Penti, because that is a customer that moved to the cloud and that decided to move to the cloud starting from the edges, right? So it's a Turkish retailer company, and they implemented our cloud solutions around S/4HANA, and by that really drove a better insight into their end customers and really improved their customer management processes. And this was the first step they took into S/4HANA, and then they moved also the ECC system to RISE, so to S/4HANA Cloud in a second step. So it's a nice example that sometimes the transformation of the ECC system can also be triggered, can be started from modernizing one edge process and then taking the ECC system after that. Another set of customers that were moving to S/4HANA, but they were coming rather from the core, right? That were looking at the core ERP processes and identifying how could they work with these ERP processes, how can they improve these ERP processes moving to S/4HANA, and how is this then really supporting a better way how to run their business. Maybe a little bit about the customer in the middle, Drechselmeier, a classical German manufacturing company. And what is the important element here? I mean, they did a rollout, 60 countries, 20 different languages. So they did a complete global rollout of the solution, supported by the deployment in the cloud to really do that global rollout. But the major business case for them to move to S/4HANA was coming from a very, very simple element, optimizing the inventory, right? And it's not the first one. There's also another one I could have put onto it, Fiesmann. They became also a little bit famous with the heat pump discussion in Germany for some people who have maybe followed that. And for them it was the same, right? Also here for Drechselmeier, of course for a manufacturing company, inventory, managing the inventory is a huge element of their working capital, right? And optimizing inventory, reducing inventory handle costs and reducing things like security stock, safety stock and so on is something that can fundamentally reduce costs. This is also what happened here at Drechselmeier. 1.1 million reduction in inventory was fundamentally supporting the business case. My other example, Fiesmann, they were even paying the whole business case of moving to S/4HANA by the optimizations that they have achieved on the inventory side. And then last but not least, also some customers that from a sustainability aspect moved into S/4HANA and gained one of the major drivers out of that. And here I would like to shortly talk about Erste Group, maybe a little bit surprising why a 50% reduction in the audit preparation report is mentioned here. The reason why they are standing here is they also achieved 30% cost reduction in running the system by moving to S/4HANA, by moving to S/4HANA Cloud with RISE. And why is this now put under green line? Erste Group is an insurance company in Austria, and of course for an insurance company the carbon footprint they have to report on is by a large content also driven by the IT infrastructure, right? Because they have a little bit of people traveling around, but they don't have machines or something like this adding to their carbon footprint. So the carbon footprint of the IT is an important element of the overall footprint of the company. So if they are reducing the IT effort by 30% and also the infrastructure around the IT by substantially, then this is substantially contributing to a positive effect on their carbon footprint. So that's these are a few examples of customers that have been moving, and with our more than 20,000 customers on S/4HANA, with roughly 50% of our overall installed base really on the move already or finalized the move already. You are really in a good companionship of companies if you have not started yet to really also embark onto that journey. Talking about the journey and how to embark on it, I would like to use the remaining time to also highlight a few areas how we can help you to move into this new world of S/4HANA. Because you might say that there have been a lot of great ideas, nice things that Uwe Grigoleit has been talking about here on stage, but we are a little bit on the left-hand side of this picture, right? We are in a very complex environment. We are running maybe not only one ECC, but several ECCs. They are connected to each other. They are connected to other applications. We also may be running an HR system. We are running an old APO system. And of course, we have to bring all of these things in line to really come to this nice picture of the intelligent enterprise. And this is why also, of course, we have built some tools, and why we have also, from a customer evolution program that I'm running at SAP, we have built some services as well to help you to really master that challenge. And it is sometimes definitely a challenge to move from left-hand side, from your today's architecture into this new world, and also to move to the cloud and the simplifications that the cloud is coming with. And one thing that is definitely helping there is, again, of course, the way how we are now connecting processes, systems, and people. This is something looks a little bit like a university slide, because when I started informatics, we were always talking about connecting processes, systems, and people. This is what IT is all about. But this is at the end what we are really doing now with our portfolio. We are managing your processes, we are analyzing your processes, we are highlighting challenges there with the Signavio portfolio. We are connecting the systems to that process management, right? So a process defined in Signavio will be then propagated accordingly to the respective systems underneath. And we are, of course, defining then the way how your people can work and can benefit from the solution and really work with it. Just two short examples also here already, how this can really now support your move to SAP S/4HANA. This is the Process Insights solution that is coming with Signavio, that also customers moving to RISE will get automatically. And the nice thing that you can do with that is you can really dive into the details of how a process is running today in your ECC system. Because many customers I've been talking to over the last years have always been saying, fundamentally, I'm quite happy with the way how my systems are running today, right? And then you are running a process analysis, and then all out of a sudden you're seeing, okay, they are running maybe okay, but definitely there are a lot of areas where you can improve this process, right? And this is something you are getting easily now with Signavio, directly with your data out of your system, right? Because here you're seeing how many days you're taking in a process from one step to another, and you're also the solution is also directly highlighting where you have blocking elements, and you can also then of course dive into the details how you can solve these blocking elements and how you can get better on this. And for those that are over lunchtime or shortly before lunchtime in my session together with Tim Steuer, we will double down on this a little bit, how you can use it. So we will also help you to identify best practices, right? So because one thing is to identify how your processes or where your processes are lacking, where your processes are taking more time than they should. But another topic is, of course, also to come up with proposals, right? And this is what Signavio is doing as well. This is where we are also using more and more now AI to support you, right? So in the same way as we have been talking about asking your ready ERP system then questions about your business, you can also use that type of questions now in Signavio to really identify areas where you can improve your processes, right? So, and you can, for instance, analyze process variance. This is also one very important thing that we are seeing again and again. You have defined in your ECC system once how a process should run, but the topic is here how it should run, because in reality it runs with 10, 15, 100 variations of that process. This is also something you will find out with our solution here, the process variance, and you can then also, of course, work through this process variance and identify how you can reduce the number of variants and how you can optimize, because sometimes variants are existing because there's really a business reason behind it. So then really define a second standard variant out of such a variation and try to optimize it and make it part of the standard to really support the business in a better way. And we have also, even so we are just now a few years underway with Signavio, we've also collected a few very good examples already where with the use of this process analysis technique, we are really supporting those customers on their way to a next generation ERP. So here you're seeing a few examples of customers that have used Signavio technology along with the transformation to S/4HANA to really start with a business process analysis and then transform that into the innovative processes that they are running S/4HANA under S/4HANA. And also here again in the middle, Hochland, a consumer products company out of Europe, and they have also identified fundamental process improvements in their supply chain by analyzing these processes with Signavio and then identifying which are the S/4HANA capabilities I can now map directly to that challenge I'm having in one of my processes. Talking about processes, of course, I also have to talk about the next steps that are following after that, right? Because one thing is looking at your processes and identifying where you have bottlenecks. The other thing is then also translating it into the respective elements of the system and also into the way how you're operating and integrating the systems. And this is why this picture is so important, which really shows the end-to-end flow that we are having in our landscape now, right? So you're starting on the left-hand side with analyzing your today's processes with Signavio. You have then our new cloud application lifecycle management, so to say, as the manager in the center that is linking that to the set of applications, the set of solutions that you're having in your environment. You have the Business Transformation Center that is mentioned on the top as the solution that is managing the transformation and the migration of the data. Because when you're transforming processes, you also have to decide what to do with the data, what to do with master data, what to do with the transactional data. This is what the Business Transformation Center is taking care of. And then at the end, so to say, of the cycle, you also have the whole topic about testing, because if I'm deploying new processes, if I'm also in a more agile release cycle of my solutions, then of course I also need to test the processes. So this is why then the integration with our with Tricentis as the test automation solution is really nicely completing that picture there. So this is how, now doubling down very shortly on the cloud ALM topic, and we will see a lot more in the detailed sessions there. So this is how we are supporting there. As I said, from a data transformation perspective, using the Data Transformation Center. Then, of course, when I'm identifying elements I would like to do differently with S4, I can control the innovation adoption with the application lifecycle management. I can work on my business continuity to really drive the solution. And of course, wherever needed, I can also then directly integrate SAP service portfolio to identify how I can leverage it. This is just to show it very shortly, the way how very concretely we are supporting you. We are also supporting you to realize your benefits in an agile way. Because what you're seeing here is that once you have, for instance, moving to the public cloud identified in the Fit to Standard workshop, the processes you would like to implement, then the cloud application lifecycle management is supporting you with agile methodologies, how you can really then bring these processes to life in your systems. And of course, it will then also support you with the whole rollout and enablement processes that you would like to run in your environment. And as I said, it's not only stopping at the processes, it's also integrating the data, master data, transactional data. What am I doing with my data out of the ECC system? Is there data I would like to take over, transactional data, into the new system? Do I would like to retire all the old data, put it into a retirement data warehouse, and then start fresh on an ECC side? There are many things to be considered, and the business transformations suite that we have been building is supporting you in all of these decisions, and is supporting you with the capabilities to manage the data along with it. And last but not least, if the clicker works, or maybe they can move to the next slide centrally. Yeah, there it is. And last but not least, there is, of course, one thing that is also supporting you, RISE with SAP. We launched it 2 years back. Why? Because we said moving to the cloud is the better way how to run an ERP system. And I don't want to touch base on all of these elements here on the slide, because all of the presentations are also talking about. I just would like to do it with a small analogy, right? So if you would like to have a good dinner, there are 2 ways how you can get it. You can cook it by yourself and become the best cook, or you can go to a restaurant and get a great dinner. And that's a little bit, then of course, if you are starting to cook by yourself, first of all, it depends a little bit on your qualities in cooking, whether the dinner will be really good or not. But you will have to equip yourself with a lot of capabilities that at the end, if your desire is to get a good dinner, are not directly connected to this desire. When you're going to a restaurant, you're getting a perfect dinner, and you're happy with that. It's a little bit with, what is the task of all of us working in the IT? It is to serve our business with the best underlying applications and to support their business. You can, of course, say, okay, I would like to become the best person ever in the way how I'm running an ERP system. It's, of course, a decision you can take to do that. But coming to my analogy, isn't it better to just have a good dinner? And so this means consuming the ERP application run by somebody else who's doing it, and vice versa, taking my time to support my business with new innovative applications, with new innovative ways how they run their business. And this is why we built RISE, because we said, let's take everything away we can take as SAP from you in the whole transformation, and let's so that you can focus on the areas where you would like to drive the change with your business. And also to support that, we have also built a program at SAP that is called the Customer Evolution Program. So that is a new initiative that we have built to help our installed base really to master this transformation. Because when we are talking about moving an ECC system, moving the whole business suite landscape to the new world, there are of course many, many things to consider. And for those that have the phones up already, the QR code there is working. It is leading you to a registration page for this free service we are calling Customer Evolution Kit. That is taking you, if you have not started your transformation to S/4HANA yet, it is taking you through the steps that are needed to really come to this next generation ERP system. And so you're all invited to really register for that approach. So that coming to the end, I hope I was able to give you a little bit of a motivation why to really move to the new world, why to really leave classical integration of applications and start with integrated processes right from the get-go, how to really use intelligence to really run a better ERP, and last but not least, how to come away from industry customization to really adopt industry next practices based on the best practices that we are delivering as SAP, and at the end using RISE with SAP as the way how S/4HANA as the product is being delivered to really do that in an optimized way. With that, I would like to thank you for coming over this morning, for your attention, and I wish you all a good remaining SAPHILA. Thank you.
So much, Dr.
Maybe
Grigoleit.
there have been questions. Yeah.
We have some questions for you, as you no doubt would expect. I suppose, let me start with one of my own. You spoke about the importance of sustainability and making sure that it's embedded in SAP processes. Is there a particular target that you maybe have in mind? Where is the future of this going?
I mean, the future is that we are really making processes sustainable from the get-go. Right, so because at the moment you're designing processes and then you are trying to identify what is the sustainability impact, and then you're trying to optimize it, right? But if you are designing processes and also products in a sustainable way from the get-go, then of course you can really achieve not only a better result, but you can also of course serve your customers better with it. And this is what we are doing with our product footprint management. This is what we are doing with our responsible design and production. Really design products already with sustainability embedded into it.
All right, so we've given you the chance now to try and send some of those questions through, but already we've got a number of them. Here's one. What is the long-term plan for SAP F&R with CAR and UDF in the landscape? I just read them.
So CFR...
So what is the long-term plan for SAP F&R with CAR and UDF in the landscape?
Whoever sent this question needs to help me with the
I tell you what, let's move on to another one. Let's move on to another one. Given that S/4HANA is now the buzzword in IT, what is the future of other SAP products which were specifically designed for small to medium enterprises like Business by Design?
Yeah, that's the question I can answer. I mean, Business by Design is definitely still an important element of our portfolio. What we have announced basically last year is that we said the kernel of Business by Design is so to say ready. It's done. And the new innovations that we are building on our business technology platform so that we can use it across our portfolio, that we can use it for companies that would like to do S/4HANA public cloud as an alternative because they need a solution that is really supporting their growth, but that can also be used by customers that are running business by design as their kernel, right? And so this is also how these two things are nicely fitting to each other. If I'm a very small company and I'm not on a big growth path, I'm maybe satisfied and sufficiently served with business by design. But we are seeing more and more, of course, that companies would like to grow. Companies would like to enable, of course, also their business then with a lot more complex processes. And these are the companies that are starting with S/4HANA public cloud and then growing within S/4HANA public cloud to large enterprise. But both can use the same business technology platform-based applications around.
Can business-specific customization be migrated to SAP S/4HANA?
Yeah, it can be migrated. We also have our migration cockpit. We have custom code remediation capabilities. Also, our partners are having a lot of great tools to do that. And it can be done. It can also and is currently already more and more supported by artificial intelligence and machine learning technology, right? So we are more and more able now to also automatically transfer, let's say, not bad, but old ABAP code into the new ABAP cloud compliant code. And then it can be also still leveraged in the new world. Even so, I'm always saying with every piece of ABAP code that you're having in your system, really start to consider first, is this really still needed when I'm going to S4? Is there maybe a standard capability in S4 that I can use instead of my ABAP code? Or is this capability still needed, right? My statistics that I'm seeing is that 50% of the ABAP code that our customers are typically have built in their old ECC solution is basically, they come to the conclusion it's not needed anymore. The one who's requested it is maybe not in the company anymore. So yes, it can be transferred. It is also supported more by AI to automatically transfer it. But please do me a favor, analyze it before whether you really need it still.